name is SireLadao, your teacher for Science, Technology, and Society for this semester. Now, this week we are going to talk about what is science and technology and the historical antecedents in which social considerations change the course science and technology.
Morning, good afternoon, or good evening. So now this week we are going to talk about the historical antecedents in which social consideration changed the course of science and technology. So now I hope you all what we call this you are all well, even if you are bombarded with a lot of requirements as of this time. So that's life, laban lang. Okay. So now I read some of your activities, the answer for your activities last yesterday. So I'm quite impressed with some of the activities or answers of you guys. So right now we are just going to talk about the historical antecedents in which social consideration changed the course of science and technology. So now let's go to the next page. So now let us first define what is science, technology, and society. So we all know that nga no mag-take pa man mi aning course or kaning nga subject nga TCM man mi. BSIT man ko nga kinahanglan man gid nga mag-study mi sa science, technology, and society. So at the end of this lesson, mahibalaan ninyo kung nga naman gyud nga naman gyud nga we are going to take or you are going to take this course for you to graduate. Okay, so now let us first define science versus technology. So now first let's go to science. So we all know that science, as what you can see, here's the slide. Science refers to the process of exploring new knowledge methodically. My goodness, oh my god, I'm having a hard time pronouncing this word. Okay, through observation and experiments, and it is based on conceptualized process. So that is science. So technology. So technology refers to the process of applying scientific knowledge and practical applications for various purposes. My God, what happened to my pronunciation skills? Okay, so now it focuses on ethical effect of taking action, and it comes from the Greek word techne, which means skills, craftsmanship, and arts, and logos, which means study. So now let's go first to science. So now science means to know or knowing the wise because scientists are the most curious and they want to discover a lot of things. So science refers to the why. So why is the sky blue? Why is the color of the sea blue? Something like that. Why are the leaves of the flowers green? Why are the grasses green? So that is science. So that is basically why. Ngano kaya? Ngano kaya? Something like that. So now, and it focuses on the whys, while technology so focuses on making something useful to life. So it is the applications of the whys of science, and as what you can see here, it comes from a great Greek word skills, craftsmanship, and arts, and then logos, which means study, just like biology. Bio means life, logos means study. So the study of life. So technology is the study of skills, craftsmanship, or arts. So now, si science focuses on the whys. Ngano ing ana, unsaon pag ing ana, unsa so the questions, or unsa ang ilang buot ikarang i-discover pa. But technology is the application of science. So si technology mo siya ang answer sa whys ni science. Example, the scientist will question, how can we communicate to other people? So, ang answer din ni technology or the application is we are going to use cell phones. So that is the relationship between science and technology. So the relationship of science and technology. So science explores for the purpose of knowing. Because science is all about knowing or means to know. And now technology explores for the purpose of making something useful from that knowledge. So that is the relationship between science and technology. So science explores for the purpose of knowing, but technology answers the science use and technology. So we all know that science is a pursuit of knowledge about the natural world through systematic observation and experiments. Through science, we develop new technology. So as what I said before, that technology is the answer to the whys of science. So science will make an experiment, something like that, through scientific method. So the scientist will perform the scientific method, and then through that scientific method or through that knowledge, we can develop new technology. So next, technology is the application of scientifically gained knowledge for practical purposes. So parehas akong giingon ganina nga, technology is the application of the scientifically gained knowledge for practical purpose. Para so technology will make something nga useful to mankind or for practical purposes. So next, scientists use technology in all their experiments. Of course, so because technology is, that is the answer to the whys of scientists. So they use technology. So from that technology nga na-apply nga or na-make or na-himo, so through that scientists were able to perform a lot of activities or a lot of experiments. So nagid sila relationship to each other. So si science naka-benefit kang technology, technology naka-benefit kang science, something like that, diba? Next slide. So na sakto di ay. Char. Okay. Kapag. Okay, so sorry for the audio. So ato ba magud kog electric fan, stand fan. So please bear with me. So now let's go to society. So now let us first define society. So now society is the sum total of our interactions as humans, including the interaction that we engage in to figure things out and to make things. So these are also a group of individuals involved in persistent social interaction or a large social group sharing the same geographical or social territory, typically subject to the same political authority, dominant cultural expectation. Excuse me. So now, society. So just like municipality of Villanueva. So because you share the same geographical or social territory, or you share also the same political authority and dominant cultural expectations, so you are considered, so municipality of Villanueva is considered society. Example, barangay Kimaya, Barangay Imelda, Barangay Chuchu blah blah blah, Barangay Poblacion 1, 2, and 3. So that is considered as society. Society because they are all humans engaging to basta kana siya. Wala ka chika. Bitaw. So muna siya ang society. So next. So now that we defined science, technology, and society, so now what does science, technology, and society mean? So dili na nato makita kung ano magid nga kwan. Dili mi gana na sir kay minor subject na sa dagan-dagan ka gadugang-dugang sa mga buhatonon sa kinabuhi. Gusto ra nako nga maglaag, mag-ML the whole day. Gusto ra nako mag-trekking mi dito sa kuan, mag-jogging mi, magingana mi, maglaag-laag, magkaon-kaon mi dito sa plaza og balot. Ganahan mi ana sir mag-basketball mi, ana-ana ra magtanga-tanga, mag-istorya o mag-video call. Nganong ipag-take pamagid mi aning science, technology, and society. So now, science, technology studies or science, technology, and society studies or STS is the study of how society, politics, and culture affects scientific research and technological innovation, and how this in turn affects society, politics, and culture. So, diba, dadto sa si science naa siya, is the knowledge. Sa technology is the application of science. So, si society ang maka-benefit sa mga gipangbuhat ni science o ni technology, di ba? So, kinsa lugar ang naka-benefit sa example sa cellphone o sa mga sakyanan? Example, sa mga computer, sa laptop. So, ang society, so that is the interrelation of the science, technology, and society. It is the study of how society, politics, and culture affect scientific research and technological innovation, and how this in turn affects society, politics, and culture. So, muna siya nga mag-study di ito sa science, technology, and society kay kita as a member of the society, we can unsa? We can benefit from science and technology. So that is the interrelation between the three. So now science and technology studies, or STS, is a relative discipline originating in the 60s and 70s. Following the the structure consists the structure of scientific revolutions. So also, STS was the result of a sociological turn in science studies. And so STS makes the assumption that science and technology are essentially intertwined, and that they are each profoundly social and profoundly political. Okay, so now, next. Science and technology have a major impact on society, and their impact is growing. So by making life easier, science has given men a chance to pursue societal concerns such as ethics, aesthetics, education, and justice, to create cultures and to improve human conditions. And also, science influences society through its knowledge and worldview. So scientific knowledge and the procedures used by scientists influence the way many individuals in society think about themselves, others, and the environment. So the effect of science on society is neither. Okay. So now, next. The galleon trade have accounted in the Philippine colonial economy. The trade was given more focus by the Spaniard colonial authorities due to the prospect of big profits. Agriculture and industrial development, on the other hand, were relatively neglected, and the opening of Suez Canal saw the influx of European visitors to the Spanish colony, and some Filipinos were able to study in Europe, were probably influenced by the rapid development of scientific ideals brought by the Age of Enlightenment. So now here, so during the Spanish colonial era, the galleon trade have accounted in the Philippine colonial economy. So now let's highlight first, what is the galleon trade? So as what you can see here in the picture, see this oh my god, wait. Okay. So makikita, no, not this one. Another, this. So ang des. Okay, let's highlight this one. Oh my god, what's happening? Okay, so as what you can see here, there's a big ship on the picture, and then this is the galleon. O ang galleon kasi, ito ay isang malaking barko. So galleon trade or the kalakalang galleon ito ay isang termino na ginagamit upang ilarawan ang kalakalang naganap sa Pilipinas sa pagitan ng Europa. So it is the trade, or the term which is used to describe the trade which happened between the Philippines and the European countries. So now its route, or ang ruta ng kalakalang galleon ay patungong Acapulco, Mexico to Manila, Philippines. So the route of this one is from Acapulco, Mexico to Manila, and vice versa. So sa kalakalang galyon, ang malaking ship na yan o malaking barko na yan ay nagdadala ng worth 500,000 pesos of goods from Acapulco to Manila. So sa first na ruta na Acapulco, Mexico patungong Manila or to Manila, nagdadala sila ng 500,000 peso worth of goods. So, at ito ay nagtatagal ng 120 days sa sea. So, 120 days in the sea or on the sea. Di surud lugar siya. On the sea. So now, and sa ruta namang Acapulco patungong Manila, so, okay. So, Acapulco to Manila, 500,000 peso worth of goods. Okay, and then from Manila, going to Acapulco, 250,000 pesos worth of goods. So, ito din ay nagtatagal ng 90 days in the sea. So, ang kalang-kalanggal yun, nangyayari yan, the purpose of that is to deliver goods and services from the Philippines to Europe. Okay, so now, let's go to, so also here that the agriculture and industrial development on the other hand, have relatively neglected. And also the opening of Suez Canal. So ano ba ang Suez Canal? So what is Suez Canal? So now, Suez Canal is the sea level waterway running north-south across the Isthmus of Suez in Egypt to connect the Mediterranean and the Red Seas. Okay, so now, ang Suez Canal ay napadali niya because of this artificial waterway, the trade between the nations become easy. So, ang kalakalan sa pagitan ng lahat ng mga bansa ay naging madali. So, that is Suez Canal. So, gaagi sila dala sa Suez Canal because muna siya ang kibali shortcut to their destination. So, because of that, ang kalakalan ay naging madali or it became easy. Okay, next. So let's go to the post-commonwealth era. So during the 1970s, which was under the time of Ferdinand Marcos's presidency, the importance given to science grew. So under the 1973 Philippine Constitution, Article 15, Section 1, the government's role in supporting scientific research and invention was acknowledged. So in 1974, a science development program was included in the government's 4-year development plan, which covers the years 1974 to 1978. So funding for science was also increased. The National Science Development Board was replaced by the National Science and Technology Authority under the Executive Order number 784, and a scientific career in the civil service was introduced in 1983. So now, in August 8, 1988, the Corazon Aquino created the Presidential Task Force for Science and Technology, which came up with the first Science and Technology Master Plan, or STMP. The goal of STMP was for the Philippines to achieve newly industrialized country status by the year 2000. So now the Congress did not put much priority in handling bills related to science and technology. The Congress did not put much priority in handling bills related to science and technology. The Senate Committee on Science and Technology was one of the committees that handles the least amount of bills for deliberation. So now, during the post-commonwealth era, so 1970s, during the Marcos's presidency, so what happened? So the importance given to science grew. And also in the 1972 Philippine Constitution, Article 15, Section 1, the government's role in supporting scientific research and invention was acknowledged. And also in 1974, a science development program was included in the 4-year development plan, which covers the years 1974 to 1978. And also, funding of science was also increased. And also during the Corazon Aquino, or the presidency of the late Corazon Aquino, so they created the Presidential Task Force for Science and Technology, which came up with what? The first Science and Technology Master Plan. And its goal is to what? To achieve a newly industrialized country status by the year 2000. Okay, so now, and also the Congress did not put much priority in handling bills related to science and technology. And also the Senate Committee on Science and Technology was one of the committees that handles the least amount of bills and deliberation. Okay, so now, and the former Science and Technology Secretary, Seferin Filiosco, reported that the budget allocation for science and technology was increased to 1.054 billion pesos in 1989 from the previous previous year's 464 million pesos, or 464 million pesos. However, due to the Asian financial crisis, budget allocation for the years 1990 and 1991 were trimmed down to 920 and 854 million pesos respectively. So budget allocation were increased to 1.7 billion pesos in 1992. Okay.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to answer your modules. See you in my next class. Bye bye.